Hi, welcome back to my channel. So today we'll be journaling for July. Before we do that, I'm going to take you to Governor's Island where they have a lavender festival of some sort, I think. Anyways, my roommate's taking me, so I actually didn't look much into it, but we're gonna go and we're gonna check it out first. Then we're gonna come back and we're going to journal. So every month I pick a word to be my theme, and this month's word is going to be remember. We can talk more about why I chose this theme as we journal. But yeah, also the aesthetic for my theme this month is going to be inspired by my trip to Yellowstone. So I really enjoyed my trip and I really recommend anyone who hasn't gone before because it's just beautiful, and so everyone should go. And to Antelope Island, that was really, really pretty. Yeah, go to Yellowstone before the super volcano erupts. So anyways, let's go on our little excursion and then we'll come back and we'll journal. Now we're hopping on a ferry to Governor's Island. The ferry is free, but you have to make reservations online. It's a super short ride. We made it to the Governor's Island and now we're on our way to the lavender fields. We're gonna go this area for the lavender fields. Look at the city over there. If you're looking for an escape, this is perfect. It's so pleasant and so different. And here's an informative plaque that we found. Arrived at the Lavender Festival. So here are we are at the lavender fields now. It's like almost 90 degrees. I am really hot and super sweaty. But aren't they pretty? I just love the smell of lavender. We're gonna be making our own hand sanitizer out of lavender.
Everybody's been, the last year, and you're gonna take the spines off the side. Like that.
Ew.
So it's, it's really sticky. It's good for your skin, so you can put it.
She said to add 15 drops of 1 or 2 essential oils, but I'm pretty sure I added way more than that, and I added 5 different essential oils: lavender, bergamot, orange, rosemary, and grapefruit. Finished my lavender. Now that we're back at my desk, let's start journaling. So this month's setup will be different because I will be using a different type of gouache. I will be using acrylic gouache. So I initially mixed my palette on this plexiglass, but because it dried out so fast, I ended up using a damp parchment paper over a wet sponge for the rest of my video. Also, another new thing about this month is that I'll be limiting the amount of colors I'll be using. I feel like limitation forces creativity, so I want to do only oranges, pinks, dusty blues, and steel blues. Like I said earlier, the word for this month is remember, and the imagery for the setup was inspired by my trip to Yellowstone. I selected the word remember because I have been feeling a bit overwhelmed lately. I've been consumed by the hustle in the city and I needed to find my footing again. I forgot all the reasons why I started doing a lot of things that I've been doing and have been just going through the motions. But what saved me, or what brought me back, was recalling the blessings in my life and being grateful to God. The 4 challenges for this month will be kind of centered on remembering why you started and what changes you can make heading into the future. And for this cover page painting, in addition to my Yellowstone inspired scenery, I'm also adding a little beach scene. Not that there was a beach there, I just thought it would be cute, so I'm adding that. If you want to see the difference between acrylic gouache and traditional gouache, then look for my comparison video. But basically, acrylic gouache is very opaque, so you can achieve a more solid and crisp look with your painting. Since I wanted to try an abstract style of painting, I thought acrylic gouache would be perfect for it. Before I started painting, I lightly sketched shapes for my scenery. I think for practice, you could search up the style of painting and just practice by copying it until you feel like you can break up your own scenery into shapes. So I hope you like lo-fi music, because I'll be popping in here and there to just give some pointers and talk about my pages, but most of this video will just be music, so enjoy. Okay, watch this. I'm about to pull a magical TikTok act. Ta-da! So now I'm going to use washi tape to decorate my calendar. Some of the tape is going to mark out weeks that I will be busy, and some of it is just for aesthetics. Speaking of washi tape though, I'm pretty excited to tell you guys that I designed my own washi tape and it should be coming in a few weeks. I'm super nervous and excited because this is a product that isn't stickers and I'm not making out of my room. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Look out for it in my store and on my stories and on my Instagram. So next is week 28. For these weekly setups, they're going to be kind of minimal and simple layouts. I had a request about weekly spread ideas, and so I'm trying out 4 new weekly spreads for this setup. So for this week's challenge, I wanted to review our commitments. I got this idea from the book Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. I forgot which chapter, but Camila is pregnant, so he talked about how he had 5 commitments that he felt like he was making D's on, and since his life was changing, he decided to drop 2 of them so that he could make A's on the more important 3. Using this idea, I'd like to review my commitments and list out what is most important to me and see which ones I should drop and which ones I should prioritize. Important commitments to me may include my church life, my family, my friends, and I want to say my job, but that's an obligatory commitment. Anyways, you get the point. I think this will help us remember why we are living the way we are and help us to move forward more efficiently. So here I'm painting a mountain sunset scene. One of my favorite parts of my trip was watching the sunset as we were driving from Utah to Montana. I didn't get great photos because we were driving, but I remember it being really beautiful. So here I'm just painting in the sky. I'm kind of painting around the silhouette of the mountains and leaving that as negative space. It's showing the paper underneath instead of painting another color on the mountains. Here I'm just lightening up some of the colors that I feel were a little dark. And now I'm going to use my steel blue and add some trees. Alright, now for week 29. I'll be using another layout for this week. I feel like all my layouts are pretty simple. I just like to write down things that I need to do and things that I have to remember, or sometimes I add quotes from the day that I like to remember. Anyways, my layouts are pretty simple. So in this corner, I will be painting a river that meets the horizon with hills on both sides. I kept trying to take that perfect photo, but for some reason, everything that I took was just very underwhelming and understates what I saw with my eyes. I really do think that sometimes nature is just for us to enjoy and not for us to take photos of, you know? I mean, maybe I just needed a better camera though. Week 29's challenge is called Nostalgia. I want you to recall a cozy feeling that you can go back to whenever you're feeling stressed. My favorite cozy memory is kind of silly, but I used to accompany my mom to the grocery store. Sometimes when I didn't need to go in, she'd leave me in the car with the windows cracked open. And my favorite memory is sitting in the passenger seat of the car with my seat super reclined, feet on the dashboard, a warm sunshine, and a gentle breeze from the cracked window. My doors are locked, so I feel safe, and my mom will return, so I felt like I had something nice to anticipate. What's your favorite memory? Leave me a comment if you can recall one now. Also, I definitely didn't leave enough room for this memory, so I have to figure out how I'm going to write it in there. But anyways, on to the next week. For week 30, I will be using another new weekly layout. And here I'll be illustrating a night scene with a crescent moon in the sky. Challenge 30 is just for fun. List your favorite throwback hits. Music that brings back good memories. I had so much fun the last time I posted one of these playlists. I asked everyone else for their favorite throwback hits, and I remember listening to a lot of the songs that were in the responses. So anyways, it was fun, so let's do it again. And here I'm just painting a vintage record player. We actually had one at the Airbnb that we stayed at in Montana, and it was a treat to be able to play it. So yeah, let me know one of your throwback hits if something comes up right now in the comments. Okay, so for week 31, I'll be using another weekly layout. Again, a very simple weekly layout, just indicating all the days of the week. And for my illustration, I will be painting some potted plants with a window view of some abstract hills. And I'm still restricting my color usage to the palette that I began with. So for this week's challenge, I'm calling it a time to remember. One of the things that has been bothering me lately is the decrease of engagement on my social media platforms. It sounds silly to talk about this, but psychologically, I do feel that I've become accustomed or even dependent on the attention of my audience. My motivation and drive to make art has become somewhat dependent on your interest. I wish I didn't get caught up in my desire for attention, and that my motivation to create would be independent from the attention that I receive, or that the metrics of social media engagement in the form of likes and comments would not be how I gauge my success or failure as an artist. But I honestly feel that it's okay to be codependent to a certain degree. Shouldn't the creator and the audience have a mutual relationship? Shouldn't it be one of give and take? I create work because of your engagement, but you are also benefited because of my artwork for a variety of reasons. I hear that sometimes my artwork might even brighten someone's day. Anyways, the reason for this challenge is to remind myself why I started and where I want to go with my journaling and my art. Alright, so I added a finishing touch to this section. I was thinking about writing something here, and now we're finally done. Let's go through a quick flip through. I'd like to thank you guys for watching this setup. If you do end up journaling with me, please tag me so that I can check it out. And all the challenges that I made up in these 4 weeks will be listed below. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. And for the last few minutes, I'll be showing you my Yellowstone and Antelope Island trip. It's just going to be little clips or my highlights of the trip. So if you want, stay tuned, and thanks for watching.
Antelope Canyon. No, wait. Wrong.
Antelope Island.
This is Antelope Island.
Antelope Canyon is actually in Arizona, and it's also very beautiful. So I've never been, but I would like to go one day. We're currently at Yellowstone and we just kind of got in. There's a lot of traffic, but look, bison. Okay, now we're at our first geyser. So, I am at the Grand Prismatic and I'm just walking across this bridge. Oh, it's so windy today. Hello again, we're at Yellowstone Lake.